Dear child, I need you to sit down for a moment and truly take this in. What I'm about to share with you is not just special, it's something from above, something deeply meaningful. You may not see it now, but this message is a sign, a confirmation that something greater is at work in your life. I saw you walk into that place, not thinking much of it, just being your true self. You were dressed in what made you feel most comfortable, not trying to impress anyone, not seeking attention. You were simply being you, and that, in itself, was powerful. What you didn't know was that, while you were just going about your day, something extraordinary was happening behind the scenes. In a room you didn't even walk into, an important government meeting with influential people, your name was mentioned. Yes, your name came up in a conversation among people who were discussing serious matters. In the middle of it all, someone brought you up. They remembered you. And they didn't just say your name. They spoke about the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, and how it made them feel. They said, "This person, there's something different about them. The way they dress isn't just style, it's a message. It speaks." And in that moment, the entire room paused. These were not just casual observers. These were people who lead, who influence, who make decisions that affect many lives. And yet, they stopped and acknowledged your presence, even though you weren't physically there. They nodded in agreement, recognizing something about you that they couldn't quite explain, but couldn't ignore either. You have no idea what you've started. Yes, it really happened. I was there when the words were spoken. Someone said your style, your simplicity, made you look like you came out of a divine story. They weren't making fun of you. No, they were amazed, stunned, even. How could someone be so simple, yet carry such depth, such presence? Some people in that room even grew quiet, as if they were touched by something they couldn't describe. One of them whispered softly, "They look like they've been touched by something holy." And you know what? They were right. Everything you wear, every piece of clothing that touches your skin, has been blessed. You are not ordinary, my child. Even in the moments when you think no one is noticing, I am arranging things behind the scenes. I am setting up conversations where your name is mentioned, where your light is being recognized. I am guiding people to see the aura you carry, the spirit that shines through your appearance and your presence. You've often thought that maybe you go unnoticed. Maybe you felt that your style was too different, not trendy enough, not loud or bold like others. But what you don't realize is that I made you magnetic to the people who truly matter. You don't need the spotlight that the world chases after, because I am your spotlight. I chose your look, your way of being, long before you even knew how to look in the mirror. Every outfit you choose is a reflection of your purpose. It's part of your assignment. That's why people sometimes feel peace just by looking at you. That's why others might feel unsure or even a little overwhelmed. They can sense something powerful, something they can't explain. In that meeting, one woman spoke up. She said she had seen someone recently, someone who walked past her quietly, yet left a lasting impression. She didn't know your name at the time, but she couldn't get the image out of her head. Then, when your name came up in the discussion, she gasped. "That's them," she said. "That's the person I saw. The one who looked like they were carrying peace on their shoulders." And once again, the room went still. Your name held weight. Your presence had already gone ahead of you. They opened your social media. They searched. They looked at pictures you've posted, photos you didn't think were special. You might have even thought about deleting one of them. You probably said to yourself, "This isn't even a good picture of me." But I stopped you because I knew that even in your unfiltered, imperfect moments, there's something powerful that shows through. That picture, that was exactly what they needed to see. Your posture, your quiet smile, your calm spirit, those are not learned behaviors. That is your spirit shining through. You weren't trying to be anything other than yourself. And that authenticity is what moved people. It's what made them stop and stare, not out of judgment, but out of awe. They couldn't fully describe what they were seeing, but they felt it. What they were really seeing wasn't fashion. It was your presence, your energy, your essence. That quiet strength you carry, that sense of peace that surrounds you, it speaks volumes, even when you say nothing at all. You didn't have to be in the meeting physically, because I made sure your name and your energy entered the room before you ever did. This isn't just a coincidence. This is a moment that's been building for a long time. I've been gently placing your name in the right ears, shifting conversations so they can your direction. I've been preparing the right next to notice you. You thought your style was just something personal, but to me, it's spiritual. Every piece you wear sends out a vibration that speaks of your identity, your calling, your destiny, and they felt it. Even if they didn't know exactly what it was, something deep inside told them, this person is different, and we need to understand why. As they talked, angels were listening. I was smiling, knowing that you are starting to step into what I always planned for you. This is not about flattery. This is about awakening. I want you to walk in awareness now, because you are stepping into a season where people of influence are being drawn to you, not because you chased them, but because I've declared that it's your time. You are my masterpiece, walking among people. And now, they are beginning to notice that quiet confidence you carry, that subtle elegance, that peaceful strength. It's all me in you. And the world is starting to see it. Some of the people from your past won't know how to react. They once laughed at your simplicity, called you boring, said you didn't stand out. They looked at your clothes, your quietness, your way of moving through the world, and assumed you wouldn't go far. But they didn't see what I saw. They judged what was on the outside. I blessed what was inside. And now, the same people who overlooked you will watch as doors open for you, doors you didn't even knock on. They will see the respect you're given, the way people honor your presence without you needing to demand it. And they'll wonder how it happened. But you'll know. You'll remember the times you looked in the mirror and questioned if anything about you stood out. You'll remember nearly changing who you were just to fit in. But something deep inside held you back and said, "No, this is who I am." That voice, That was me. I was protecting your true self because I knew the day would come when people would finally see what I've always seen. And now they're seeing it. In that room, they weren't looking for someone flashy. They were looking for someone real, someone genuine, someone who carries something sacred. And that's why your name stayed on their lips longer than anyone expected. You reminded them of something they'd forgotten, something honest, something spiritual. One person even said, "I don't know what it is exactly, but they look like someone who's been through pain and came out of it with peace, not bitterness." That statement changed the energy in the room. Everyone felt the weight of it, because your presence doesn't just speak of style, it tells a story of survival, a story of quiet strength, a story of healing. You've gone through battles. You've cried in silence. You've healed slowly and quietly. But from that pain came a beauty that can't be faked. And now, even the most powerful people can sense it. You carry the feeling of healing. You look like peace. And when you walk into a room, I shift the entire atmosphere, not with your perfume, but with your purpose. You may not realize it, but what you wear, how you carry yourself, even your stillness, it's all spiritual. You carry me with you, whether people know it or not. But this time they noticed, and they couldn't forget. They remembered you. Some of them tried to move on, but your image stayed in their minds. Because once someone catches a glimpse of something touched by heaven, they can't unsee it. And this is only the beginning. There's something special about you, something that stands out, even when you're not trying to. People couldn't quite figure you out. Your modesty made them unsure. You didn't show off, and that puzzled them. Your quiet strength surprised them. You didn't speak loudly or demand attention, but you carried yourself in a way that made people take notice. Your calm spirit didn't just settle you, it unsettled others. They were used to loud voices and flashy behavior. But your presence made them curious. Curious enough to ask, "Who is that?" Curious enough to talk about you behind closed doors and in serious conversations. That curiosity wasn't random, it was guided. It was me drawing their attention to you through your quiet and consistent character. You might be feeling a bit anxious now, wondering what's happening and where all of this is leading. Let me ease your mind. Nothing that's ahead of you is meant to harm you. I'm not opening doors just to leave you unprotected. I won't place you in a space where I won't be with you. I'm not lifting you up just to let you fall. I'm doing this because you've shown me something special in private moments. You've been faithful when no one was watching. You stayed true to me even when it cost you something. Your comfort, your time, maybe even your sense of belonging. You didn't chase attention. You didn't look for a stage. You just did the right thing, quietly and consistently. And now, I'm rewarding you openly. This is your season of being seen, but not because you tried to be seen. It's because your light couldn't stay hidden any longer. But listen, don't chase the spotlight. Just walk in the path I've set for you. Let me lead you. You won't need to network endlessly. or try to force open any doors. You won't need to beg for a chance or manipulate situations to get ahead. Just be ready when I say, go. That's it. The right invitations will find you. The right people will recognize you. The right rooms will open. You won't have to force anything. Some of the people who will notice you are leaders, strong on the outside, but struggling on the inside. They're respected, but they feel spiritually lost. When they saw your image, something stirred in them. They felt drawn to you. Maybe they couldn't explain why, but they knew they wanted to sit beside you, even if only for a few minutes. That's why you're being called, not to entertain, not to impress, but simply to be there. Your presence speaks more than words ever could. There's something healing about you. Just by being in the room, you bring peace. Your voice brings a sense of calm. Your eyes carry wisdom. Even when you're quiet, you speak. In fact, your silence often says more than others' loudest words. You carry a different kind of power, one that doesn't need to shout, one that was shaped in silence, in solitude, in struggle. You've been through the fire. You've been refined. And now you shine. I saw how you responded when I first whispered this future to you. You laughed. You thought, me? In places of power? No way. But I smiled and said, yes way. I love choosing the unexpected ones. I love placing favor on those who don't crave it. I love lifting up the ones the world overlooks. You didn't chase titles or popularity. You didn't play games or try to be someone else. You stayed true, and that kind of spirit is rare. That's why people in authority are taking notice. They're surrounded by people who constantly try to impress them. And yet, you, someone who wasn't even physically in the room, made them pause. They saw something in you that made them think twice. That wasn't luck. That was divine. That was me, working behind the scenes. You're going to hear your name mentioned again very soon. And it won't come from the direction you expect. Someone who was in that room is planning something that involves you. They haven't reached out yet, but their heart is being prepared. When they do reach out, it will surprise you. It won't feel forced. It won't happen too fast. It will be perfectly timed. When it does happen, you'll remember this conversation. You'll say, God, you told me this would happen. And I'll say, yes, I told you because I trust you.